How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Software Inc. Welcome back to Hard Mode. And welcome back to Nerdrasoft. I've been a little bit busy since the last episode. I decided it was time to put together a new building, and this is it right here. It's nothing super crazy, but it is gonna serve as a space for a new team to start working on a computer operating system. And so working from the ground up, it has a couple of development spaces, it has a couple more development spaces, a couple more development spaces. All of those floors have bathrooms as well, just in case you were curious. It also has stairs the entire way up and down, as well as elevators. And then we have room for a tiny little canteen, a little kitchen, a leader's office, and more bathrooms, as well as the utilities. And also access to the roof, because I thought that would be kind of important. But honestly, it's nothing too crazy. It's not the best thing that I've ever built, but I am kind of happy with how it turned out. I figured I wanted to do this big sort of glass section as a main hallway, and then just have things coming off the side of it. And what's also kind of interesting about it is I can delete those two rooms, and it will still work. So I could have it be a building that's almost floating off of that hallway, but I also kind of want this development space down here, so I'm not going to do that, although I could do that. What I am going to do is I'm going to go ahead and say that this is going to be a leader's space. This is going to be limited to being a canteen, and then everything else is already assigned to OS Team 1. Now, OS Team 1 doesn't actually exist at the moment. There's no one in that team. But we can fix that. We can fix that shortly. And the way I want to fix that is by first going to develop software and figuring out what we would need for a computer operating system. Now, what we have to keep in mind is that I don't necessarily want to go over the expected interest. I want to build up whatever we're going to be doing here. And I also don't necessarily want to put this into project management because I want to try and make it as good as it can possibly be. So let's start simple, and let's say it's obviously going to have all of these things. It's going to be, modern tech level. I think honestly, let's go in and say it's going to be heavy on networking, which is already 84% interest with 5% wasted. So it's going to go real heavy on the networking, which I think that's a good start. I don't know that my network team's going to love that, but it's also going to be good on maybe surround sound, which is going to give us 100% with 6% wasted. So essentially 106% interest. We could do themes as potentially a thing. Unified search would be interesting. Widgets would be a thing. Notifications. I just want something that's going to push the interest up just a little bit. What if we did file encryption? 5% wasted, 5% wasted, 5% wasted. Oh, man. It looks like we're going to have a lot of wasted interest regardless. That right there would be, 14% wasted? What about speech recognition? No. Custom themes, windowing system. Okay, so maybe that would give me, 95% expected interest? Let's just do surround sound. Let's just go for 6% wasted interest. So it's going to have a lot of networking and a little bit of audio. It is going to include systems and 2D and 3D, but sort of less so. We'll go for a relatively affordable price, and Frame happens to be a pretty good name. Nerdrasoft Frame. So let's go with something simple. We have the desk, we have the frame, we have Morph, we have these really simple names. I really like that. It is an original IP. It's going to be on the host, it's going to be sourced on the source. I guess it's going to be a new framework, and interestingly, we can call the framework since it is the framework for Frame. That's a lot. I'm going to stop talking about the word frame is what I'm going to do. So we'll go ahead and auto balance this. 5% wasted. It only seems to need 8 designers and 8 designers, 15 programmers, no artists. That is, that's interesting. Let's set this to none for the time being across the board. And lead designer is going to be no one as well. We're going to self-publish and we'll develop. So yeah, currently Frame is assigned to no one. but we can go in and see what it recommends. So, I mean, operating systems are a combination of networking, audio, 3D systems, and 2D. So if we go to manage teams, go to OS, we want to hire by specializations. So we want systems, we want 2D, 3D, audio, and network. It's all of those things. And what is that, 5 things? I'm tempted to say, oh man, that might be kind of rough. I was going to say that maybe we do 10 of each, but that would end up being 100 people in the team, which is maybe a bit excessive. So maybe 25 of each. So there ends up being 5 of each kind of specialization. That might even be too much, but we'll try. Let's try it. I don't think operating systems need art. They might. I also don't know how many desks we have in this building, so we'll give this a shot. We'll say 25. We'll say 25, and that'll be 50. We'll say 15 artists. That'll be 65. Traits will be fast learners. We don't want anyone that's sick, and we don't want those either. Salaries will be high. Education is here. We'll have like 20 people going and getting educated. Roles will be best roles. Handle complaints, handle this, and give them $10 million for the OS team. Now, that's not going to do anything right now because obviously there is no OS team, but that's fine. We're also going to say these guys can go on vacation around the year, which is fine as well. And so now we need to see how many desks we have. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So actually, we're going to want to go in here and we're going to want to go to HR management and say that we're only going to have 10 artists, and that'll be the 60 desks taken up, and then one leader can go into their office and everything should be great. So what we can specifically do, actually, if we really wanted to, is we could assign one of these spaces to artists only, but I don't think I'll bother. I think what we'll do is we're just going to look for a leader, and the most important thing really will be automation and HR. We want a programmer. We'll go to begin looking. And let's see, let's sort by age. We'll start with the youngest here. So Emery McCormick is pretty good. He's 45. He's got normal compatibility with support team 8, which doesn't really matter. And skill is fine. So let's put you in the OS team. We'll hire you. And then what we can do is go to the OS team. We can go to manage roles, and you are not going to do any of this, but you can be a leader. So we'll see how that goes. I'm pretty sure HR management is enabled now, so yeah, that'll be a thing. Whoa, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. I need only these things for specializations. That could have been a bit of a disaster. That really, really could have been a bit of a disaster right there. But we should, if I let things run, and we are seeing this team fill out a little bit. So what we'll do is assign, let's see, assign the OS team 1 to work on this. And as leaders go, no one is particularly good at operating systems right there, which is a bit of a worry. Veronica Young is, I guess, the most skilled. So congratulations, Veronica. You are going to be leading the operating system. And then looking at the team, 15 people is going to be it for now. That's fine. That's at least going to be, I guess, an operating system. It's a computer operating system on the go. It's our first one after almost 40 years of NerdResoft existing, and it's like the only thing we haven't done up until this point. So I'm kind of excited to see how this goes. I'm also excited to see if we make any money. We're at 1.27 billion, 1.279 now. The Epic Pack is still making money. The desk actually has gone up to 490,000 right there, which I'm really surprised about. So that's good. The desk getting ported to things might be helping a little bit there, which is lovely. Fresh Pack is about ready to go into beta. So when are we releasing this? Let's have a little look here. Frameworks or add-ons or whatever. The Massive Pack was October. This one was May. We're currently in July, so August, September, October. Let's go for October. We're kind of getting around to releasing these things relatively regularly, so we'll go ahead and release the Fresh Pack in October 2018. So, release date, October. We'll announce it. 59,000 followers immediately. We'll go ahead and get Marketing Team 1 working on this. We'll put out a press build, and we will also start hyping this, and we can start printing. We'll do 500,000 copies up front, and then we'll obviously, as we usually do, reduce that way back down. So we'll get this thing going. It'll hopefully be good. Hopefully the fresh pack makes more money and continues to help Roaster Coaster 6 sell. But what I'm most interested in is Frame. It's a relatively basic operating system. It is designed to be a basic operating system. The goal is that it ends up being something good eventually. We're going to build it into something amazing. I also realize we need to hire some cooks. So let's go into room groups. Let's create a new one. It's going to be the OS building. And we'll go ahead and do that. We want to select this room and add it to the group, which I think it's, let's see, can I do that? There we go. So we now have one room in here. It's that one kitchen. And I guess what we'll do is we'll sort by type. We've got our cooks right here. And so what we'll do is hire, I guess, we'll hire 4. We'll hire 4 cooks. We have these 4 right here. Assign them to the OS building. These guys come in the morning. These guys are going to come in at, like, I'm going to say 1700, so 5 p.m., leaving at 9. And that'll give us enough cooks throughout the day to help us out a little bit. I am thinking this might need to be assigned to the room group as well. So how do I go about doing that? Is that a room group? No. There we go. So add that to OS building. So those cooks will service that little canteen. And I suppose that'll hopefully be good. I think that puts us in a spot now where we can go and duplicate the OS team so that we have a day shift and a night shift so that Frame can get worked on a lot more regularly. Because right now it's like one of the few things we have that's not being worked on for like 16 hours a day. Also, Emery McCormick, of course, you can have a pay rise. That makes sense. $243 more is not a problem. That is totally fine. 30 people in the OS team right now. That's actually kind of exciting. I'm hoping that they do good work. That's all I can say, really. I'm hoping they do good work. I'm hoping they get this thing going. Because obviously, I mean, it's, oh my God, that thunder was bright, or the lightning was bright. Obviously, you know, it is a very basic operating system, but eventually I would hope that it turns into a good thing. Also, anything here that's challenging? Not really. Let's accept all of those print jobs. And actually, let's go back into manufacturing. Does this have, where is it? This guy. Yeah, this guy has a lot of stuff in stock now. So we'll go for 100,000. And by in stock, I mean in storage. So that's been sorted out. I guess now we're kind of just waiting around to see what else happens. We do have a release this year. We do have what is coming out in September. We have Hell Fortress 4. Coming out in September this year. We have some hardware coming out in February next year that I'm not looking forward to. It's going to be Nerdrosoft Universe 3. Oh, I don't love that. I don't love that. I don't. I hate to say it, but I don't. I don't love the fact that we have another phone coming out. I should. That's what's annoying. I should love the fact that we have another phone coming out, but I'm actually dreading the moment it releases because it could be terrible. Now, interestingly, a couple of people on the OS team are complaining about having trouble concentrating due to noise, which I'm assuming is because of just the fact that there's no room dividers in here. That might be doing it. Let's have a little look into build mode here and see what's going on. So if we look at offices and we go to room dividers, they can isolate employees from noise around them, but will also isolate them socially. I was wanting these spaces to be kind of open. I wasn't really wanting to put a lot of room dividers in here, but I might just have to, unless, I mean, acoustic panels are very effective at improving room acoustics, considering how little room they take up. We could try throwing a few more acoustic panels in here and see if that helps us out a little bit. Maybe throwing, you know, these guys down on that wall, for example, and onto to that wall as well, although that one doesn't really work out, so let's not bother with that. Let's just see if that helps. I kind of doubt it. Other teams occupying offices, not really a big deal. I get the feeling I mean, noise in here is 100%. Acoustics in general in these rooms are 100%, but I guess we need to wait for employees to be in there so we can get a better read on the actual state of the acoustics. So we'll wait until next month. We'll wait for them to come back in. We'll take a look at it. If it is less than 100%, then we'll have to do something, but I don't think it's going to be. I think some of these employees are just complaining for the sake of complaining, which, to be honest, I'm very good at doing myself, so I would believe it. I would believe that that is, in fact, what they're doing. But we'll see. Like I said, we have more employees coming into this team this morning, so we should see these offices fill up relatively quickly. And still 100% in this one. Still 100% in this one. Still 100% in this one. So honestly, the complaints about noise, I don't really get it. I don't really get it. Do we have the cooks? We absolutely do. They're coming and going, doing their thing, providing the little canteen with some food, which is lovely. So these guys can get their food, they can get their grub, and stay well fed. And so honestly, this is good. We're in a pretty good place for the operating system. I think it will take a while, but that's totally fine. Not the end of the world. What is slightly terrifying is, oh God, they are designing Roaster Coaster 7 now. When's it due? July 21. Oh, now hold on a minute. Is that a bit of a distance? That's out there a bit. Yeah, that's 40 years. How many years are between these ones? 3. Fair enough. It's still a bit of a distance between Roaster Coaster titles. That means I might need a few more expansions. We're up to what? How many followers? 1.4 million. 1.4 million. Oy. All right. Well, that's terrifying. That is a terrifying, terrifying number. Did we release anything? No, someone retired. Okay. So these guys, I don't like when it runs over into the second half of a month. I don't like when things kind of run over. That is terrifying. Let's cancel this sniffer port. I would like to keep porting Roaster Coaster, I'm going to be honest. Bucket Blue, anything need added to this? Not really. So we'll get that port going at some point, I'm sure. But what I really need is for Hell Fortress 4 to be released. Like I said, I don't like when it goes out in the second half of the month. It makes me nervous. It makes me think that they're not actually going to release it. And I really want them to. Also, the desk has just passed $1 million in profits. So despite the fact that I fat-fingered and released that early, it is a thing. We'll also release that press release just because we can. Still gaining followers. I think it did. So November 2020 is the next Commander Stabby face. Hell Fortress 4. Is it good? It is great and inspiring. Hell Fortress 3 was outstanding and inspiring. So Hell Fortress 4 is not as good. It needs to make 3.6 million to make a profit. Let's immediately port this to anything and everything. Everything back as far as 2013. Although there are some older systems with like quite a few. You know what? Oh man, do I want to go back as far as 2013? That's going back 5 years. There are some systems with 500,000 there, 500,000 there, 250,000 there. Yeah, I think we go back about 5 years. I think we'll set ourselves that rule that when porting anything, we go back about 5 years. Anything new from Morph that it needs to go on to? Not really. Absolutely not really. All right, so Hell Fortress has 15 operating systems to be ported to. That might take a while, especially since we're prioritizing actually Roaster Coaster 6 right now over the desk. Let's actually move all of my ports into that one little space so I can see what's going on. And actually, let's port this or pause this, and we'll focus on the desk, and then we'll get into Hell Fortress. I guess we should probably start working on an expansion for it. That seems like it would make sense. It is potentially going to sell. I don't really know. The gamer expansion. Didn't we do Hell Fortress 3 Hell Harder as the expansion for the last one? Let's do Hell Fortress 4 Return to Castle Nerd Home. There's a bit of a series crossover. And this will be a new storyline. It's going to be like a new thing, which will be kind of cool. So that's going to be, I don't remember who works on these things. I think it's is it the update teams? No, I think we'll just do the 2D team on this. So immediately get the 2D team on this. Will it be a new playable character? I think it can be a new playable character. I think that'll be kind of cool. So a couple of new playable characters right there. We are going to have a new 2D boss fight. I think that's going to be kind of important. And honestly, that is entirely the 2D team. That is all that is. There's no new guns. There's no new environmental objects. There's no new music. This is going to be lazy, and I'm here for it. So let's see. Tech level 2015. Bucket Blues 2014. That'll do. I'm here for it. $20. Hell Fortress 4. Return to Castle Nerd Home. And 100% interest. 59% wasted. We only need the 2D team. Let's go. Let's get that going. And remarkably, it is going quite quickly. So that's nice. We have that going for us. I expect that'll release within a handful of months. Now, Hell Fortress 4 itself did 412,000. It sold 8.7 thousand units, which is not very good, to be quite honest. It could have done better. It didn't, and I'm slightly upset about that, but it's Hell Fortress. Hell Fortress 3 actually sold 1.4 million. Wait, what? How did Hell Fortress 3 make $67 million? I don't remember. Hell Fortress 2 did 80 million. It sold 1.5. Is it like one of my best sellers? That's Roaster Coaster. Wait, Hell Fortress 2 is there. Hell Fortress 2. Oh, God. I don't. Oh, God. Hell Fortress might actually be relatively successful. Regardless, it is now October. So I think it is probably time to just go ahead and release the fresh pack. And it is 5 across the board, which is perfect. That's what we're looking for. 75,000 for marketing is just fine. Move it up to the top. And we can stop marketing the epic pack is what we can do there. So that's a top priority. Do we want to start working on another expansion for Roaster Coaster 6? I guess it is going to be a number of years. It is another 2.5 years before the next one comes out. So yeah, let's do at least like 2 more of these things. We get the overhaul, we get the deluxe, we get the pixel. Let's do, oh, what do we want to do? Let's come up with another expansion pack, and then we can come up with like, we'll start doing like a definitive edition, and we can do like Roaster Coaster 6 definitive edition as the last expansion before we release Roaster Coaster 7. So we've got Jumbo, we got Majestic, we got Extra, we got Extreme. We could do the Extreme pack. That might be one. We've done Fresh, Big, I guess Extreme, right? So, yeah, RC6, the Extreme, what was I going to, Express? I don't know why I was going to write Express, but I kind of like the Express pack. It's weird. It doesn't make sense, but I'm kind of here for it. I'm also realizing that the expansion packs for the different types of games are, funnily enough, different. So for the first person shooter, we get like a new story. For this, we get, oh, I might need to make all the different types of games is what I'm thinking. I'll tell you what though, let's try and do something here that's entirely 3D and I guess audio, and we'll throw some systems at it as well. So that way the 2D team can focus on the Hell Fortress 4 expansion. So we're not going to do any 2D. We'll go all in on new environmental objects. We'll go all in on new gameplay systems. We'll go all in on some new audio to bring the story up a little bit. And already we can actually essentially max out the expected interest without going super hard on systems. So the 3D editor on this will be Tri-Frames 3. The audio tool on this will be, oh, Soundscape 5 got updated to the 2015 tech level. Nice. We'll use Soundscape 5. And this is fine. The Express Pack, we'll go ahead and develop it. And they probably don't need to be told to hurry this because they are probably, well, I'll tell them to prioritize it anyway, just to make sure that these things get done super, super quickly. Now, the good news is that the Fresh Pack has just turned a relatively comfortable $4 million. However, I suspect I've just been fined because I just dropped a considerable amount of money. I failed to print those. I just dropped 7,000. Why am I minus 10 million right now? That's what I'm wondering. And I suspect it's bills. Yeah. 11 million in bills right there. 24 million in bills right there. I'll tell you exactly what that is. We have just got done printing Nerdrosoft Universe 3. So the phone has just been made. It costs a lot of money to do that. And so it's ready to go out. It's going out in, oh God, it's going out in February. I'm not looking forward to that. I'm really not. But the good news is the Fresh Pack, 4 million from the Fresh Pack. It is right here. It's 3.4 million in profits. That's honestly not bad. I'm kind of here for it. So, yeah, I'm happy about that. We also still have 813,000 active users in Roaster Coaster 5. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to capitalize on that, is what I'm going to do. It is 4 years after Roaster Coaster 5 went out. Let's make another expansion. And let's do Roaster Coaster 5 Definitive Edition. And it's going to be... It is going to be the last expansion for this. I know we said that whatever the last one was the last one. But if there's still 800,000 people playing the old game when the new one has been out for a little while now, we might as well capitalize. And so what we'll do is the 2D team is about to be done. So let's go in on, you know what? No, we'll just use the same 6 teams. We'll go for a bunch of this. We'll just do a bunch of like wasted interest. Actually, no, we'll just do this. So the audio tool on this is Soundscape 5. The 3D editor on this is Tri-Frames. And yeah, Roaster Coaster 5 Definitive Edition. $20. I'm okay with that. Less than a year to make it. Let's go. So we'll have those guys just work on that. And then at some point, we're going to do the Roaster Coaster 6 Definitive Edition as well. And it'll be great. Right? I mean, they're nearly done with the design on the Express Pack, so we can let them do... In fact, you know what? We'll let them focus on the Express Pack and focus on getting it done. It is kind of weird going back and making an expansion for the old game, but I feel like I can't ignore the fact there's 800,000 people still playing it, you know? I mean, if we look at it, Roaster Coaster 6... Oh God, Roaster Coaster 6 has 1.6 million active players right now. And then Roaster Coaster... So hold on a minute. There's 800,000 people still playing this one. There's double that with 1.6 million playing this. Good Lord. Okay. What has... what's come out recently? What's got the most active users right now? Int OS is up there. It's a pretty popular operating system from 4 years ago. $699 million in profit. That's not bad. Good for Risk Interactive. This game has 2 million. Honestly, Roaster Coaster 6 being 5th place as the most used thing is not bad. I'm actually quite happy with that. I'm quite proud of that. So I have to say, it's actually really nice that the Fresh Pack has turned over $7 million in November 2018. The desk is actually $1.7 million as well. And Bucket Blue still sitting relatively comfortable at 3.9. So in terms of money, I mean, we just did 17 million in sales in, I believe, I don't know if that's all of November or the first half, but October 2018, we did $36 million in sales. So we're doing all right. And the good news is the OS team is very, very close to having all of its employees. So as soon as the OS team has all of its employees, we can go ahead and duplicate it and start working on a night shift team for the OS building. And that way Frame can get a little bit more love. It is progressing. It's not like Frame is not doing all that well, although the 3D side of Frame is not doing very well. I'm pretty sure. Oh God, please tell me I didn't forget to put 3D people in here. Hold on a minute. No, we do have 3D development in there, so I'm not too sure why 3D is suffering, but it'll be fine. The good news is the Express Pack is actually ready to go into beta already, so we're going to market this for a... it's November, let's say February 2019 release. 71,000 followers. I almost did it again. Market with all of the usual stuff. Market it with a press build and market it with some hype. And let's make sure that we're not losing followers. Let's try and get this press build done as quickly as possible. Hell Fortress 4 Return to Castle Nerdholm is very nearly done as well. I'm tempted to say it could probably release in March, given that it's very nearly done. We could probably try and release it in February as well. Let's say March. I'm pretty confident on that date. Let's get this stuff going here. And let's get the press build out there. Let's get the hype going as well. And yeah, I'm pretty confident saying March 2019 for the Hell Fortress update. So that's 2 updates. That's honestly not bad. And then of course, Roller Coaster 5 Definitive Edition is in the works there. So that's exciting, right? It's super hype. I'm sure people are gonna love. Well, Software Inc.'s weird like this, right? People in Software Inc. will love a Definitive Edition coming out. I mean, it's just an expansion. It's not actually a shady Definitive Edition, but you know what I mean. They'll has Update Team 1 not got a leader? I feel like Update Team 1 might not have a leader. Yeah. No HR management right now on Update Team 1. All right. Well, let's hire some employees and filter by compatibility with Update Team 1. Begin looking. And we'll go for Ronnie Alvarez. So you're hired. Congratulations. Let's go to employees. Ronnie, congratulations. You are now the team leader. So that's sorted. Every team has HR covered, which is great. So yeah, I mean, people in Software Inc. love this stuff. The Express Pack is probably going to end up with 1 million followers, which is lovely. We're going to want to print this thing. I don't really care how many copies we print. We'll just let it go nuts in printing for a little bit. 340,000, 500,000. That's probably enough right about there. So we'll limit it to 100,000 right about now, and that'll stop the printing, which is good. I don't think we're infinitely printing anything else right now, which is also good. Still 29 million copies of Commander Snappy Face 2 in stock there, by the way. That's a terrifying number, but it's all good. We don't have to worry too much about it. Now, we did have someone else retire. That was a deal, actually. Hosting for IntOS 2. Oh, hosting for IntOS 2. Isn't IntOS the most... wasn't that the most popular software right now? Oh, IntOS 2 has just come out. Interesting. In fact, thinking about it, we should probably add a few new operating systems to this. Anything that come out this year should probably be added to these port jobs, especially for Hell Fortress. That's going to be kind of important. So IntOS can get thrown on there. Bucket Blue has been getting ported for a while. Let's get it onto IntOS 2 as well, even though it might never get done. And yeah, Hell Fortress 4 Return to Castle Nerdholm is now ready to go into beta. So we'll start printing copies of that as well. And I'm not really suspecting we're going to need that much. So we'll do a cozy 100,000 cap on that right away. And that'll keep us pretty good. So now, all we're waiting on is the Roller Coaster 5 Definitive Edition to be moved into alpha. And we're also waiting on February 2019 to come around so we can see Nerdrosoft Universe 2 or 3, whatever it is, likely fail miserably. And so, the time of reckoning is upon us. It is February 2019, which means Nerdrosoft Universe 3 is going to hopefully be releasing in no time at all. But we're also due to release Roaster Coaster 6 Express Pack, which has almost 2 million followers. So we'll go ahead and just push that out immediately. It's got essentially a midnight release. It's 5 stars across the board, which is exactly what we're expecting. $75,000 marketing budget as per usual. We'll move it right up to the top. And honestly, the Fresh Pack is still making money. It's still turning over close to 2 million a month, but we'll go ahead and end marketing on that one. We'll prioritize the Express Pack. And we're now just waiting on the phone going out. These guys are actually designing the desk too. When do they expect to release it? February 2021? Ay, all right. Well, that was unexpected. Was not expecting that to be quite as far away. But sure, they can do their thing and they'll be fine. We have 3 deals coming in. We have some hosting, which is all right. We have a print job, which is totally fine. We can take that as well. So we'll see how the Express Pack does. We do have Hell Fortress due next month, and Roaster Coaster 5 Definitive Edition has 620,000 followers scheduled for April 2019, which is the 4-year anniversary since, it's the 4-year anniversary of Roaster Coaster 5, which is nice. I think that's a nice way to do it, right? Roaster Coaster 5 was, it's the 5-year anniversary. It's the anniversary, all right? It doesn't, it's the 5-year anniversary. Ignore me. That seems nice though, right? 5 years later, here's, the Roaster Coaster game that so many of you adored and that so many of you still adore. Only half, oh God, it's dropped down by, the population's almost cut in half since we started working on this. This might have been a bad idea, is what I'm getting at, but we'll see. We'll see what happens is what we'll do. Now, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. So we have a formal complaint first off. Sure, here's money, go away. Nerdosoft Universe 3 is out. Is it any good? It's good, it's inspiring. The last one was good and inspiring. The first one was mediocre and inspiring. This one has sparse marketing for some reason. I'm not sure why. I feel like all of my operating systems end up with sparse marketing. Marketing Team 1 does work on this, so I'm really not sure. I do probably know why. It's probably because Marketing Team 1 is working on so much. I'm going to take Marketing Team 1 off of this, is what I'm going to do. We'll take Marketing 1 off this project completely and see what happens. Oh, man. I don't know about this. I just don't know about this. Let's set a maximum of like 50,000 units. That's probably reasonable. Updates for that thing should be done automatically, and I am sure they're designing Universe 4, which is looking at a 2022 release, February 2022, so 3 years from now for the next one. Which is actually good, admittedly. That's actually what we want. We want it to be a bit further away, so a little bit more dev time might actually do us some good for the old universe there. A lot of people retiring, that's fine. I just I don't know, man. Oh God, more people retiring? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. I hope it sells. I doubt it's going to sell, but I hope it sells. If we look at all software, when's the last time a phone came out? So the last time a phone hasn't come out since 2017. So it's been a couple of years, actually, since a phone operating system came out. It's $302, which is maybe a little much. Is that like my most expensive? No, Universe 1 was $320. Universe 2 was $285. Let's put this guy in at a flat $300 and see how that goes. It's a small price reduction, right? People usually appreciate those kind of things. I doubt it's going to sell. I really do, but it is the first phone to come out in a couple of years, so it might. There's a chance. 1.2 million, or billion rather. 1.31. So did it sell? It actually made 1.1. Okay. It actually made $1.1 million. 6,000 units sold. I'll take it. The Express Pack just did 3.4 million. Desk, 667,000. Bucket Blue, 3 million. Bucket Blue is a pretty steady moneymaker, huh? $89 million. That's not bad. 89 million on Roaster Coaster 6 as well. That's kind of impressive. Okay. I feel a little bit less bad about the state of the company now. I've got to be honest. Actually, having an operating system team here helps a lot as well. And we do actually have OS Team 2, which is slowly getting built up. So we actually have Frame getting worked on for about 16 hours of the day, which is lovely. So in theory, this thing is actually going quite quickly now, except for the 3D side of things, which again, I don't entirely know why. I don't really know why. So hold on a minute. 0 of 25 employees are unqualified. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not really sure. So you guys are doing 3D rendering? Apparently not. All right, well, it is going quickly regardless. Frame is, again, it's a relatively basic operating system. I think it estimated about 2 years for this thing to get done. Consumer reach is 138 million. If we can hit even a fraction of that, I will be very, very pleased. I'm not expecting a miracle, but it would be nice if we did get one. Now, $1.3 billion, 1.314. It's a bit rough. That feels like we didn't really make any more money there. 2.3, okay. Universe 3 might actually, wait. Oh no, yeah, good and inspiring, same as the last one. All right. Okay, well, it's March. So that means Hell Fortress 4's expansion needs to go out. Let's release it. It is 5, 4, and 5. I'll take that. Marketing on this can be a little cheaper. We'll go 45,000 because it's not as big of a release as other expansions. But that's a nice little crossover there between the Software Inc. series and the City Skyline series. And now we just wait until April for the Roaster Coaster 5 Definitive Edition, which has a lot of followers, which is lovely. I think we are printing it, which is also good. So we'll go ahead and throw out another press build. We will give you more money, which I guess is fair enough. There's some more money for you there, fella. And I guess we're waiting. I guess that's what we're doing. I'm also kind of waiting on Frame. Like that's kind of my new pet project. Now that I've handed Bucket over to the tools team, and now that Bucket 5 is 2021, Frame is kind of my new pet project. So I'm curious to see how that goes. I'm also kind of thinking that I might introduce a new game franchise or two to the games task, because I would like more types of games to make expansions for. So actually, here's my question. What games should we have them make? Because at the minute, if we have a little look here, we can go to games. We're making an RPG. We're making a sim, and we're making a first-person shooter. No, wait, no. We're doing, what are we doing? We're doing FPS, RTS, and sim. FPS is Hell Fortress, RTS is Commander Stampy Face, and sim is Roaster Coaster. So we can still do a sports game, an adventure game, and an RPG. So what I'm getting at is, what should we call our role-playing game? What should we call our adventure game? And what should we call the sports game? Leave your answers in the comments, and we'll get around to adding those to the games project at some point, is what we'll do. Now, in other news, unfortunately, Hell Fortress 4 has not really made a profit. It did turn $84,000 in its first 2 weeks, which is honestly, that's not a lot. That's not great. I'll be honest. That's a little disappointing, but it's fine. I kind of had a feeling that would happen. I had a feeling it wasn't going to be a tremendous success, but it's all right. It's not the end of the world. It's a lesser known franchise. It's not our top franchise. It's not our most popular franchise. So let's just get to April. Let's just get to September. Let's just see what the next 2 releases do for us. So Roaster Coaster 5 Definitive Edition, it has released. It just made $6.7 million in its first 2 weeks. Unavoidable marketing, $2.1 million to make it. That's not bad. Well, $2.1 million in expenses. That's That's really not bad at all. That's a pretty comfortable turnaround there on the RC5 Definitive Edition, which makes me really happy. That's what we were looking for. So that's gonna make money. The Roaster Coaster 6 expansions are continuing to make money. So really, we're really building up a fan base here on these simulation games, huh? We're actually up to 11 million fans, which is kind of amazing. Is that, who has the most? Oh, it's me. Lovely. And the most money is still me as well. I'll take it. That's not bad at all. That's actually very good, is what that is. It's very good. What did that do for, what did that actually do for Roaster Coaster 5? So it is 463,000 active users. It did 169,000 in the past month. Universe 3, actually, 4.5 million. I doubt it's ever going to actually make a profit, but we actually have a phone that people want, which is nice. Universe 2 wound up with 200,000 units sold. This one 134. So if we could pass 200,000 units, I'd be very pleased with Universe 3. Oh, now this is interesting. Roaster Coaster 5 Definitive Edition has finally hit 0. It is not selling anymore, so I think we might have sold as much of that as we possibly can. Hell Fortress is about done on its marketing as well. Roaster Coaster 6 Express Pack is still selling. The Desk is selling, and Bucket Blue is selling. Now, something I did with a lot of these guys is I actually went in and signed up some exclusivity deals for these things, where essentially my most recent software releases can only be got digitally on my own store, which I don't know if that's necessarily going to help with sales or not. It's whatever. I just like the idea, to be quite honest. That does actually currently include Roaster Coaster 5. It can currently only be purchased on my store, which I have to assume includes the expansions. So every piece of software that I have, you can only, well, the most recent ones, the good ones that people care about, you can only get them on my store, which I think is the way to go. I think that's smart business, is what I think that is. Although in saying that, no one else has signed up to my store. I still only have 10% of the market share, and my cut is 30% because no one was signing up to this thing, so I decided, what the hell, might as well crank the cut up a little bit. Not like anyone's signing up anyway, so if anyone does sign up, I get 30% of the revenue that goes through my store, which I'm kind of here for, honestly. There's 51 million people that use V, so that's not bad. Oh, now this is interesting. Obsidian 2 just released in August 2019 rather than September. It released early, which is a choice. That is a choice that has been made. Is it good? It's mediocre. Although the first one was bad and mediocre. This one is mediocre and ordinary, which, fair enough. Marketing is sparse, which it always is from the hardware team, but we get it up to widespread. Obsidian 2, I mean, there's not really anything to do with it. We're just sort of going to wait and see if it sells. I mean, $1.392 billion, 1.395 doesn't bode well. It's just... Oh, no! It sold 22 units. This thing is almost $100 cheaper than its predecessor. It is better. It's still mediocre, but it's better than the predecessor. I don't even know. Are we doing a joystick for this thing? I guess, did the joystick for Obsidian sell? It didn't really. I don't know. Obsidian 2 has an add-on there. Did we just release Obsidian Controller 2? We did. We did release Obsidian Controller 2. Okay. Interesting. You know, when the first console failed, I don't think it failed this badly. I'm almost impressed at how catastrophically Obsidian 2 has just failed. Although again, it released a month early, so I'm not really sure I'm not really sure how much of a chance it had. Also, this person keeps complaining. It's getting ridiculous. I'm just going to keep giving them money until they stop. That generally seems to be the way to solve problems in Software Inc. Yeah, I'm genuinely a little baffled at how badly that went. Wow. I wasn't expecting it to release early. I wasn't expecting it to be better. But I was expecting it to make maybe a little bit more money than that. I guess what we should do is start porting things to Obsidian, right? So sort by release dates, we can move Hell Fortress onto, I mean, Obsidian. Oh God, there's another phone just come out. That's a problem. You know, I'm almost certain that Obsidian just didn't sell. Yeah, 24. It sold 2. It sold 2 more units. Marketing is still sparse on that. Are we really struggling that much to do marketing for this stuff? I guess we are, right? So let's have a little look here and see how marketing does. Marketing might be a little bit overwhelmed. Let's stop marketing the desk. And yeah, looking at it, they haven't really touched Obsidian unless that's the marketing budget. Which honestly, I'm going to take over marketing Obsidian too. I think, yeah, the marketing budget's nothing. Give it $75,000 and let's see if we can't maybe get this thing to sell. If we need people to know it exists, if we're only spending $1,200 to market this thing, no one's going to know that it exists and therefore no one's going to go out to buy it. So if we can turn sparse into widespread, that would be kind of great. I'm not expecting a miracle on this, but as I've said before, it would be nice. A miracle would be nice. I don't know about this. I really don't know why marketing is so bad on this thing. That's kind of weird to me. It's odd that marketing has suffered so much there, but we'll see what happens with $42,000. I doubt it does anything, but yeah, 0. And marketing's still sparse. It literally didn't sell 24 units. How much would someone give us for this IP? That's nothing. That is nothing. How many millions have we sank into Obsidian? We're down 34 million on the original. We're down 20 million on the sequel. We're down $54 million on these consoles. Because they're just not selling. That is, that's depressing. That's a little depressing, man. I don't love that. I feel like the company's heading in a better direction. We're at $1.4 billion overall, but I can't say that I love the fact that we can't get a friggin' console to work. That's frustrating. That's really, really frustrating. That's really annoying. I mean, the phone, Universe 3 is making a bit of money. It's doing all right. It might turn a profit, which would be amazing if we had a phone that actually turned a profit. But man, this Obsidian project is it's not a good one. It is not a good one. It's prominent marketing and it still hasn't sold a damn thing. That's how have we done this? Did someone else release a console? No. Obsidian's here. The last console, so what, August 2019. The last console was, well, a year ago. And it made 27 million. Maybe consoles are just terrible. Let's have a look here. Console, Obsidian 27. I mean, 137. So they can make money. They don't make a lot is what I'm realizing. So maybe consoles really aren't the way to go. Although at the same time, having a killer app for a console can be a big help. So if I was to go and say Hell Fortress being ported, if we say Roaster Coaster 6, you know, port that to, let's say both of my systems, right? And then we go and say, wait, are these my, when did I get When did I get iHome 2? Wasn't that a competitor at one point? I didn't even notice. I must have acquired this, I must have acquired that company at one point. Fair enough. I guess I did buy stock in the competitor. Fair enough. Roller Coaster 6, we're going to port. We're going to do Roller Coaster 5. We'll port that to our new systems as well. And we'll just see if that helps to sell them. I kind of doubt it. It's not the end of the world. Like, we are still making money off of other things. It would just be nice if Obsidian was one of the things we were making money off of. But again, we have Frame coming along. We have another universe coming out. We will eventually have another Obsidian, I'm sure. And we did bring down the support cycle in these things to like 2 or 3 years as well. So it's not the end of the world. And so I suppose that's going to have to do us for today. We've had some success. We had some disappointment. I don't know that I want to continue making consoles, but maybe we will. Maybe we do one more and we see how things go, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. The company's in a good place. We're coming up on $1.5 billion. We might end up getting $2 billion, but we will absolutely see. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. It has been an absolute pleasure, as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.